Hey, what up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Mike.
And JJ, and this football highlight video is brought to you by Naples Rib Company, the perfect place to cater your team's next event.
It's senior night, it's breast cancer awareness night, it's all kinds of nights here at Compton, and we got a lot of talented players we've had the pleasure and privilege of covering the last few years, JJ.
So many memories made on Friday nights in October and November. Love it.
Pre-game handshake, pro or con? What do you think?
Also love this. Yes, absolutely. It's a perspective adjuster.
It's a nice way of assuring things remain cordial for sure. And on the first play for Poly, Mekhi Jordan to Anthony Curtis. This isn't cordial at all. The ball is out, and it's Chester Fitiau who falls on it for Compton, giving them a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, you need that if you're going to be in this game, but not much going for the Compton offense going the other way as Jacob Tuioti and Brian Parham are in on this tackle. They were in on a lot of tackles tonight.
Definitely living in that backfield for the Poly offense, Malachi Rice. Speaking of life out of the backfield, no one has done it better in the city this year than this kid. Definitely not this year. 48-yard touchdown to start the scoring for the Jackrabbits.
I thought you were going to sing the nobody does it better part.
I'm not a singer, JJ. I leave the singing up to you. Deuce gets loose on that one, and then a fumble on the ensuing kickoff, and Torian White is going to fall on it for Poly. Guess what happens next, JJ?
Something opportunistic.
Mekhi Jordan is going to find the speedster Ramil Brown on the score. This is a 27-yard touchdown for Poly, who at this point have run, I think it was like 3 offensive plays for 2 touchdowns to go up 14-0.
You think they script these touchdowns? They're like, we need a touchdown. Go to the script.
It did kind of seem that way. Ja'Shawn Smith is going to get loose for a first down for Compton, but that would be their only non-penalty first down of the first half. Meanwhile, Mekhi Jordan's got Brown wide open, and the Turf Monster is the only thing that's going to bring him down. Jackrabbit keys to victory, Keontae Lanier.
He's got the keys, and taking that all the way to the end zone for the 21-0 lead with 3 left here in the first quarter still. I've got a feeling we're going to be singing keys on somebody else's playoff loss.
I think so too. Then Kylan Neal's got the strip sack, the scoop, the score. You see him looking behind him for flags. He's had 4 touchdowns called back this year. This is actually his first career touchdown, and you can see why he's fired up. He spent all last year working back from injury. Finally gets to take one into the end zone.
It's the real Neal. Welcome to the party, pal.
Jonathan Scott on defense for Poly, one of those players living in the backfield, chases it down here for the what up Doc. Poly defense gave up just 40 yards in the first half.
That is impressive, not surprising. Also not surprising, another one from Jordan.
134 yards receiving for Brown, and then Jordan's going to keep it himself for a 24-yard score. 4 touchdowns in just one half of action for the senior quarterback. And then let's just take a couple looks at what this Poly defense is like. These are just a couple of average clips, JJ. Does this look like a fun defense to run against?
No, it's not a fun offense to stop either. This whole thing is played inside of a phone booth, and Poly defense coming out on top each and every time. It's a glass case of emotions.
Usually Poly's celebratory kneel doesn't come until the end of the game, but it's a thanks. 50-yard strike to the tight end / defensive end / fullback. Love seeing a guy who does the dirty work get to do the celebrating and scoring, and you can see how fired up his teammates were for him.
I feel like Tommy Boy is like, is that a Niner in there? I'm not expecting 9 to get in the end zone. Good for you, kid.
Watch Justin Blunt, the underclassman, slip in and track this play down. Poly really well coached against this double wing, and the future remains bright. We've seen so many talented youngsters for Poly. The sophomore Justin Wheeler wheeling and dealing on this return, and it's going to set up Malachi Rice's second score of the night. Poly really living more through the air than on the ground, but certainly proved they can run it when they wanted to.
Probably should have blown this play dead. Maybe a little bit earlier than they did.
The whistle does not blow on this play.
It's an issue. We've seen some refereeing, officiating issues this year, to say the least.
Not sure. Maybe someone else was supposed to blow it, and they weren't sure who was supposed to blow it. But anyway,
That's on me.
They get it out, and then Aupiu Mo, a talented junior, plays a lot of positions, takes it in for Poly to finish the scoring for the Jackrabbits. That puts them up 55-0. Compton would get a touchdown from Ja'Shawn Smith here in the fourth quarter. They get themselves on the board with a long one, but that is going to do it in this one as Long Beach Poly goes on to win it 55-6 to remain in first place in the Moore League. Compton, meanwhile, will be playing Lakewood next week in a must-win game if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
For all of that local football coverage, you got to keep it right here. As always, the 562.org.